Hey guys, it's Anne-Marie, and today is Wednesday morning. The kids have one more week before they go back to school. And I just want to talk a little bit today about healing, going through the stages of grief and healing. I'm going to try to keep this clean so I can post it up onto FluffTube. I don't know at this point. I'm so hidden everywhere that it's really hard to post anything anywhere because I don't know who's going to see it, and it's so... Wasp just went by. I don't know. It's a very surreal time right now. I was just watching Edward Dowd last night on Rumble, and he was talking about the real numbers of what's really happening with the... Now, he can't prove without a shadow of a doubt that it is this that's causing all the disabilities. He was talking about like over 4 million disabilities since this rolled out in the last few years. And he's saying like the insurance companies, it's going to be insane, like in terms of the number of people who are getting disabled. Do you know what it means to be disabled? Like that you can't work. Anyway, in a weird way, it was very encouraging for me to watch it because I'm not crazy. The problem of opening up your third eye and, decalcifying your pineal gland is you see everything. And then people think you're crazy because they can't see it. But you're not crazy because the numbers are there. Ooh, it's still too hot. Oatmeal. The numbers are there. That's what he was saying. He said this one woman who, it's funny because the more indoctrinated people are the ones that are the most educated. And that's why people are so confused right now, and have been since this all started. In 2020, they're like, but my smartest friends believe in all this. Yeah, because your smartest friends are the most indoctrinated. The more letters they have after their name. Who controls the educational system? So anyway, I want to talk about healing because I'm on a journey of healing. I'm not there yet, but I feel like I'm very, very functional considering everything that's happened to me. And I feel like this is leading to me to where God wants me to go. I saw some video this morning. Maybe it was Father Mike. Is that his name? He was saying he'd been praying for years, like a decade, like, God, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Like, what do you want me to do for the life path, Like his overall trajectory. And he was like, oh, I should be asking God, what do you want me to do right now? And I love that because that's what I do every day. What God wants me to do right now is make videos, talk to people, remind them of the truth, be a light of authenticity in a world full of fakes. Sometimes I'm like, why does anybody want to watch what I have to say? But it's because it's just truth. It's just truth. It's very refreshing. It was very refreshing for me to watch Ed because he was just telling the truth. And most people, that's why I don't like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, because they're all it's all fake. Trying to get engagement. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? That's why I don't do that on social media. You don't usually see me posting little polls and asking people what they think. Instagram, TikTok, any of those things, it's the same thing as television used to be, where you sit in front of the TV and you get mesmerized. You look at people when they're scrolling and it's like they're hypnotized. We all do it. I do it. We all do it. You're lying if you don't. It's a dopamine hit. It's the same reason people used to watch television. It's a way of hypnotizing people and then putting messages out there for them. Indoctrination. And advertising, right? Getting you to buy things, getting you to whatever. And when you wake up and decalcify your pineal gland, you're not as susceptible to that. But the people that are asleep find you unpleasant. They find you to be unpleasant the more asleep they are. I'm starting to think that this actually did change people's brains. Because I have a number of people in my life who completely changed. I can't talk about who they are. That's why I'm writing my book. So I am gonna announce a Give, Send, Go. I was not gonna do it because people were telling me not to, but I gotta do it. I need the support. I'm too banned and shadow banned and everything else. So I need the support. And I'll come up with some good, if you support me in the Give, Send, Go, I'll send you a free book when it comes out. I have to write this book. It's going to be fictional. It's going to be fiction. But that's the only way I can really tell the truth. Anyway, I feel like if you're fitting into this world right now, you have to sell your piece of your soul. The more you fit in, the more you sell your soul. So, like, for regular people that are just living their lives and they're not posting on social media or whatever because they don't have to, I have to because that's where my whole career went. Like, we used to have blogs, now we have social media. So I have to get people from social media back to my blog. That's what I've got to do over the next, however long. So I still have to go on there. But that's fine. I'll do it. Like David Nino Rodriguez always says, he's the Pied Piper, getting people over, the normies over to his website. But, yeah, I feel like the people I know in my life, the more they are able to fit in, the more they've had to sell their souls. And they're paying the price, they just don't know it yet. Or they do know it. But they can't see how it's playing out. They can't see how it's impacting them. I can't say more than that. I've been paying the price for years now. But I'm glad that I have, because I know I'm clean, if that makes sense. It talks about it in the book of Revelation, that there's a lot of people wearing white that didn't soil themselves. Excuse me. We're not liked. We're made fun of. We're humiliated, ridiculed. But we are clean, if that makes sense. Anyway, it's very sad to me what Ed Dowd was talking about, the number of people that are being disabled and dying every day, and they don't know why. They don't connect the dots of what's causing it. But, and it's sad that people like me who did try to warn people got so silenced. But it's okay, because the end of this is going to be good. It's going to completely annihilate this whole machine of the medical industrial complex. And the people that have been ruling us for thousands of years. Like, this is not a new battle, guys. This is a very old battle. So, I am talking about healing today. I see myself making a lot of progress. I see myself making a lot of progress, and I just want to talk about that a little bit because maybe you can see it in yourself if you've been through a lot, if you're going through a lot. If you're watching this, you probably have. We need to celebrate everything that we're doing that's working and that is getting better. And I do think, again, I said this, I posted a live on Instagram this morning. I'm Cheese Slave on Instagram. You can go find me. I'm like very shadow banned on there, but I'm going to try to post more lives over there to get people over here and over onto my blog. Please subscribe to my email. That's really the best way to be in touch with me, because even when I post on social media, people don't see me. So subscribe to my free email updates. Oatmeal's really good for you, by the way. I wish people wouldn't eat these like carnivore diets, because you really need whole grains. You need carbs. You need all the things. You need a balanced diet. Not just whole grains, just carbs. Anyway, I really okay, so victory yesterday. I fixed up my laundry room. I posted a little reel on Instagram, just some pictures of it. I might post the pictures on my blog, but it was very, very, very cathartic. It was very healing for me to do that. And I had this realization about my son's Legos. So my daughter said she wanted to go buy some girly stuff, facial moisturizer and body scrub and stuff like that for the new year, for school. And my son was like, Mom, can I buy toys? Because she's getting her stuff. Can I get stuff? I said, yeah. So I bought him an equal amount of toys. He wanted Legos. And I always let my husband be in charge of that. Like, I always felt guilty if I bought him toys, because my ex-husband would get really mad that I was spending money, which is weird to me because we had a lot of money. So I didn't understand why I couldn't spend it. But again, this is why I'm glad, I'm very grateful to be divorced, because I didn't have freedom. And I think a lot of women feel that way. They have husbands who are not godly men, not living according to what God wants us to do, and they're not a part of the church, and so they're yoked to someone who is out of alignment with God. Anyway, I bought him 2 things of Legos. That's what he really wanted. And it was so awesome. We had the best experience because he actually built his Legos. He did the first one the first night, and he said to me, Mom, I've never finished any of my Legos. That was so sad to me. I realized he didn't have anybody there for him to watch him and, cheer him on. He did it all himself, but he wanted somebody to be there with him while he did it. That's what parents are supposed to do. His dad, his grandparents, nobody ever watched him finish his Legos. So he did. I helped him. I didn't do anything with the Legos or even tell him what to do. I just was lining them up for him so he could find them. When you're looking for Legos and you can just easily find them. And he finished the first one, and then the next morning he didn't want to do anything else until he finished the second one. And it was just so sad to me. He's never finished. He's 8 years old. He's never finished a Lego project. He has lots of unfinished ones. And that's how I felt about my life. I have all these things sitting around. I moved in after my ex divorced me. I moved in January 9th. And sorry, I got a frog in my throat still since I was sick last week. That'll teach me to not, I will never go off the pool water again as long as all these people are SHEDDING. It's a doozy out there. I haven't been sick at all this whole year, as long as I stay on my pool water. Anyway, I had moved in, but I didn't want to face the hard things. I had cleaned up, my whole house is actually really nice. Everything's nice. I haven't bought certain things because I didn't want to spend the money. This fear about running out of money because I'm only going to get rent money for 1 year, like 1 year from the divorce. So it runs out in December, which I know he doesn't, I'm not supposed to talk about the divorce or whatever, but to me that's criminal to cut a mother off when she's watching the kids most of the time. How do you do that? How do you live with yourself? I mean, mothers have babies. We're supposed to stay with them the first few years of their life. We're not supposed to just hand them over to someone else. Right there, you're giving up years of your life for your kids so that you can support them. I mean, so that you can raise them until you can't really focus on your career. So when he was like, why didn't you make money? Why aren't you making money? Didn't you notice when I got censored? It's wild. The level of injustice in this world right now is just absolutely wild. Anyway, I think that's why I'm going to have to do the Get, Send, Go, because I do it. Anything that I get helps. And that's why I'm making videos, because I need to put myself back out there so people can find me again. But I have all these things that were unfinished since I moved in. I didn't do the laundry room. I didn't do my office. I hadn't done the garage yet. I haven't done my son's room. And again, partly it's like I don't want to spend the thousands of dollars it's going to take, because he kept the house. I left half the furniture. I just didn't want to have to move it all, and not all of it would fit in my house, This is a rental that I'm in. I have no savings, really, not much. And I'm not trying to say all this to like make you feel sorry for me or anything. I'm just telling you the truth. Very little savings, and I got all the debt. He gave me all the debt. How do you live with somebody for 17 years and raise their kids, and then they act this way? And I'm not the only one. I know this happened to so many people. I really don't know how you do that and live with yourself. That's why we don't have divorce in the Catholic Church. And they're very careful about when you get married. That's why you go to counseling before you get married. You get married in the church in front of all your peers, your family members. People really don't get divorced. I'm sure my grandparents had their issues and probably at times wanted to get divorced, but they didn't. And they never would have. Because when you love someone and you raise children with them, you become one person and you stay together. Because you're family. It's too easy to get divorced nowadays in this secular world that we live in. It's too easy just to dump people. Because it's not convenient for you. Because you'd rather be with somebody else that makes it easier for you. But that's not what's best for children. It's not what's best for women. That's why I do believe we're all going to go back to the Catholic Church. Because the Catholic Church, that's where you had the weddings, that's where you had the baptisms, that's where you have the birth records and the marriage license. That's where it should be. It's funny, I have a friend, I haven't seen him in a long time, but Joshua, that's what his big beef. He was like, we shouldn't be getting married by the government. He's right. A secular marriage is not a real marriage. I got married in the Justice of the Peace. That wasn't a real marriage. And my wedding before that, my first husband, that was Buddhist. We had a Buddhist ceremony. It's not a real marriage. It's not a real marriage. Anyway, so I have all these things I hadn't finished, and every step that I take, even if it's small, is a step towards completion. And so anyway, yesterday I was like, okay, I'm gonna go do the laundry room. That's something I could tackle and finish. And I did it. Maybe I'll put some pictures in here if I'll put the pictures in the blog post. I'll do that. So I don't have to put them in the video. I'll put them in the blog post so you can see the pictures of my laundry room, but it made me feel so good. I have not been enjoying doing laundry. I do it, I get it done, and then it just stacks up and I don't like folding it because I don't have a comfortable place to fold it. I don't like watching TV and folding clothes like some people do. I just don't. I like to listen to an audiobook and fold clothes, but there was no good place for me to do it. And finally I realized I need to make my laundry room what it needs to be so that I love doing that task, because that's something I have to do every week. And one thing I've learned from being an entrepreneur is if you don't like doing certain things, you have to find a way to love it. You have to find a way to like doing it, and then you'll do it. Like paying your taxes, or, well, don't get me started on that. That won't last. Another thing from our secular government that we shouldn't have to do. It's all got to come crashing down, guys. It will. Anyway, I just realized, like, I don't like posting videos. I hate the whole process. So I'm really good at making videos. Some people are afraid to make videos. I'm not. I make videos. But I don't like the process of posting them. And so I hired somebody. And she's going to work part-time to help me do that. So that I can rebuild my business and help people. So, yeah, once I finish doing the laundry room, it's so beautiful now. I love it. It's joyful. It's happy. And I actually look forward to doing my laundry now. It's awesome. Next, I'm going to do my office. Then I'm going to do the garage. And I'm going to do my son's room. And then the whole house will be done. Oh, and I have to do this. Look at this. That's my tower garden. In this rental, I can't really have a garden. I don't want to put the energy into building a whole garden that I'm going to not get the benefit from years from now. I'm going to wait. I really want to buy a ranch if I become successful again, and I want to take my own money and buy a ranch not far from here. At least, I'd like to get at least 10 acres is my dream, and be able to have that property, have that land for my kids and my grandkids, my future grandkids. Anyway, this tower garden, my ex-husband hated this. He hated it. I don't know why. It's like he always hated everything that gave me joy. I don't know why. He did, but he did. So it's really hard when you move, because then you don't have pieces of things. Like, it's missing the pump. It's missing, I don't know where the cord is. Well, I guess the cord goes with the pump. It's missing the lid. It's missing the other piece. So I have to call them and be like, look, I got divorced. I'm missing all these pieces. Can you help me order the things that I need? And I know that they will. They're great. And I'm going to get it working again. And my goal is to do that this month. Maybe I'll even do it today or tomorrow. I want to get it done so that I can have herbs, fresh herbs. You know how expensive herbs are in the grocery store? It's ridiculous. And I don't want to, like I said, I don't like a bunch of potted plants everywhere. This patio is also not very big in my backyard. Because then you got to water them all, and then I forget to water them, and then they die in this heat. But this thing, it just waters itself all the time. It's great. It's great. So I'm going to get all these things done, and there's a feeling of completion where you can relax. And I think I think with my ex in that house, there was always a feeling of I wasn't allowed to be myself because he would criticize the things that I loved about myself, the things that brought me joy. He would laugh at me and like make fun of it, like as a joke. Like I was always the butt of his jokes. But I don't know why he did that. I still don't understand it. I'll have to pray about it. Maybe because he wasn't doing the things he loved. And so he criticized me so he could feel better about what he was doing. But the reason people are not successful in life is because they never finished that book. They never finished writing that book that they want to write. They never finished making that video that they want to make. They don't post it. They don't put up a blog. They don't start a business. They don't start that garden, whatever it is. Because once you start something, that's the hardest part's over. Once you get it done, right? Put it up. So I think like finishing that Lego and being able to look at it and be proud, that is really, really important. And that's something in my old house I didn't have. He doesn't really have it either. And I just want to say this, and I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just saying this to be honest and put it out there. I built $1 million company. My old blog network did 1.3 million in our 5th year. I did that. He tried to downplay it and say, well, that's gross revenue, and we had to pay salaries, and we had to pay taxes and whatever. Still, why can't I be proud of that? Why can't I be proud of what I did? I made an impact. I helped other people make an impact on the world in a positive way, very positive way. I don't think I should feel bad about that. I think I should feel good about that. I think that's God's work. I don't know yet how God's going to have me do it again, and I'm scared to do it again. My goal is to start my new company, Eden Revival, by November. It's going to be baby steps. I got to find some sponsors who want to work with me, and people who want to work with me to get coupons from those sponsors. But what I want to really do is be like a trusted community for those of us in this community. Right now, when I go on Instagram and YouTube and some of these other places, and Facebook, I just feel like it's all fake. Do you guys feel that? I feel like I can't trust most of these people. They stayed silent during this last 3 years. I can't really trust them. I want to work with people who want to work with people they trust. So that's what I want to create. That and write books. So I had this dream that I was making videos, and my ex and his mom were like talking about me. They kept poking their head in when I was trying to make these videos. And they were like, "What are you doing? Why are you wasting your time?" And then I told them to leave, that I was working, that they needed to leave me alone. And then they walked down the hall, and I poked my head out, and I could see them talking about me. Why are people who are still brainwashed so angry at those of us who are not? Why do they want to prop up this lie? It's interesting, like Ed Dowd was saying, like, all the people who they don't, because they were asking him, like, why is the media not reporting all these people who are claiming disability? So he said there's over 4 million people who claimed disability with their insurance. They can't work. They're on disability. It's like a huge number. And the number of cancer is like skyrocketing in the past few years. He rattles off the numbers. If I remember, I'll post the link of it below. So you guys can go watch it. But go to American Media Periscope. I'm not going to remember. Just go to American Media Periscope on Rumble, rumble.com, and scroll down. Today is the 9th, so it was like a couple days ago, and it was Ed Dowd, D-O-W-D. He's got a book. He wrote about it. He wrote a whole book about this whole died suddenly thing, and the numbers, the real numbers, coming from the insurance companies. These are real numbers. These aren't made up numbers. And he's like a really well-respected financial analyst, and used to work at BlackRock. So he's reporting on all this, and the news has not covered, the media has not covered him at all. He's only on alternative media, like on Rumble. Why are they not covering it? That's what people are asking, and they're saying, like, a lot of people just don't want to admit that they were wrong. He said that's what psychopaths do. He was talking about, actually, when they had, he lived through the whole Enron thing when he was in the financial industry. Well, he still is in that industry, but he lived through it, and he said those people continued to lie until they were hauled off with handcuffs on. And that's why he wrote this book, and he put this out there, because he said people there's still mandates. I just saw one the other day. I don't remember if it was Connecticut or New Jersey for kids in school. So there's this thing. This is why my ex divorced me, why my mother-in-law hates me, and why most of my family won't talk to me, because they don't want to admit the truth. They're like, why can't you just get along? Why do you have to talk about it? Just don't talk about it. Just don't talk about it. Just stay silent and get along with people. Because otherwise you look crazy and you make us look crazy. And I'm like, ethically, I can't do that. Morally, I can't do that. Because if I can help save a life, as censored as I am, can I put this on FluffTube? I guess I'm gonna. We'll see. Whatever. Who cares, right? They're gonna take it down. They'll just take another channel down. I don't care. So what? They took my other channel down that I had for a decade. More than a decade. I had that channel since, 13 years. Doesn't matter at this point. If somebody's hearing this, and it might save a life, if somebody can come back to my blog and read about pool water, I can't say what it really is, silica water, the patches, the zeolite that I have, and other things that I have on my website that I talk about that will reverse things. Let me make my medical disclaimer. It's such a joke, isn't it? Like that we have to make these disclaimers. The whole Rockefeller medicine system is such a joke at this point. We've all been lied to. And if I can't speak the truth, then I am a slave. I'm a slave. And I can't live that way. So if it means that my family members won't talk to me because they're nurses and they know better than I do, my friends won't talk to me because I'm obviously a conspiracy theorist. I'm not talking about all my friends. I have a lot of friends. A lot. And there's more people in the silent majority than people realize. They just don't say it. They don't say anything about it. They talk to me about it privately, but they don't talk about it publicly. because they can't. They'll get canceled. But me, I'm not your average person. I started my blog network in 2008. Started my blog 2007. Started my blog network in 2008. We were the biggest health blog network in the world. And we were the ones that spread the truth about coconut oil and raw milk and grass-fed meat. Before that, people really didn't talk about those things. And I am proud that we made an impact. Yeah, they came after me. Yeah, they destroyed my business. Yeah. Then they destroyed my blog. Of course they did. But they're not going to destroy me. And I know that God will win. And this is all going to get turned around. And the people will triumph. So I'm just going to keep taking baby steps every day. I'm very proud of the steps that I'm able to take. So if you're out there and you're struggling, think of one baby step you could do today. One baby step. Think about what it is you could do that might help somebody else. Or something you've been dreaming about doing. And another thing is that if people leave you when you're just trying to be you and live the way God wants you to live, they don't deserve you. If they leave you because they can't handle the truth, they want you to shut up, they want you to fit into lies. Look at Abby Johnson. Do you know who Abby Johnson is? Go on Instagram and type in Abby Johnson, ABBY. Read her story, Unplanned. It was a movie. You can rent the movie. You can read the book. Look what she did. I mean, they fought her. I mean, I could not make videos right now because I could say, look, I don't look good. I just got out of bed. I didn't wash my hair. I don't care about any of that. None of that matters, really. What matters is saving lives and helping people discover the truth. And for every lie that you tell, you're chipping away at your soul. You think people sell their souls to the devil all in one big fell swoop? No. That's not the way it works. It's piece by piece. Remember that Johnny Cash song? One piece at a time? That's how we do it. Little bits. Until the next thing you know, you can't relate to God anymore. Can't connect. Can't hear him. Can't hear him. Talks to me every day. I can hear him loud and clear. And you know how to do that? Stop sinning. Follow the 10 Commandments. It's real easy. Not sinning is very simple. It's very easy. You just have to stop being deceived by the devil. Him telling you that it's not a sin. Telling you that he doesn't exist. There's 7 virtues and there's 10 commandments. Follow those. Follow the 7 virtues that fight the 7 vices. And go to Mass on Sundays. Get communion. Go to confession. Yeah, become a Catholic. Sorry. Not sorry, but I mean, look, for somebody who was an atheist, who came all the way back to Christianity in 2016, 2017, who researched all the religions, yeah, there's only one. If you go to earlychurchfathers.org, read about what the people, how they were practicing Christianity back in the earliest days. It's basically Catholicism. And I think you can agree that Protestantism, all the sects, 10,000 sects, or tens of thousands of sects, sects, it's not going to, my transcriber's not going to translate that right. They have failed us because they didn't protect marriage, they didn't protect family. Luther, there's a reason he cut those sacraments out. Anyway, there's a reason certain books were cut out of the Bible. Book of Tobit talks about natural cures. Type in blindness and Tobit, T-O-B-I-T, into the Google machine and see what you find. Archangel Raphael. Anyway, it's a process. It's going to take a while to heal. Silencing people is one of the worst things you can do to them because it demoralizes them. And it makes them feel ashamed to be who they are. It makes them feel like they can't speak out. But every time we go along with that, like I say, we're chipping away at our souls and we're selling our souls to the devil. And that's why I can't do it, even though I've lost so much. But what did I really lose? Nothing. Money? I could make more of that. A marriage that wasn't really a marriage. Friendships that weren't really friendships. Because if somebody's going to walk away from you because you don't believe the same things they believe, but they won't listen to you or read any of the facts, then how is that a friend? I remember in 2016, when was this? This was 2013 or 2014. I was pregnant with Ollie. I was just about to have Ollie. And a former friend of mine, this is one of the people who unfriended me, very unceremoniously. By the way, they never come to your face and say, hey, we can't be friends because I don't like this or I don't like that. They just cut you off. They just block you on social media. And then they talk bad behind your back. Every time. All of them. So this was one of my best friends from high school. And she's still good friends with my family members. She's still good friends with my family members. She thinks I'm crazy because in 2014, she was one of the few to admit the real reason. The real reason that she unfriended me. Because when people are unfriending you, you don't know why. They don't tell you. When liberals unfriend you, they're just like, and they don't say, hey, it's because you like Mr. T. You find out later. That's why you got canceled. That's why people in your company ostracized you, talked bad behind your back, hurt your business. That happened to me. That happened to me. Anyway, this friend did tell me. She goes, well, I can't. I go, because we were having a good conversation. I hadn't talked to her in years. She was like, oh, her daughter was having a baby. I was a late bloomer, didn't meet anyone. Well, it's a long story why I didn't have babies sooner, but it's basically, I feel like it was all meant to be because now I'm going to be able to write about it, and why we need to have babies when we're younger. And as many babies as possible because they bring you so much joy, and that's what we're supposed to do on this planet, but as women. But this friend said, we were having a good conversation. It was like so good to be back in touch with her after all these years. And she finally said, she goes, well, I won't be able to see you. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, well, you don't, your kids. And I'm like, and she was like, well, I can't have my grandbaby be around your kids. I was like, are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? She was dead serious. And I just stayed quiet. And I was like, okay. I was in shock. I was in shock that she was talking to me that way. See, because I was injured by when I was in my 20s, when I went to get my, go to college, because I switched schools. And they gave me a bunch. And within the next year, I had rheumatoid arthritis and chronic fatigue syndrome. I was able to cure it. That's why you can go on my blog and type in rheumatoid arthritis and read the story. I didn't know it was this until many years later. I figured it out. Anyway, I've been researching immunity and health for decades, almost 30 years. And I respect anyone who spends years researching anything. I'm going to listen to them. If they have read books, if they have watched patterns, if they have observed phenomenon, if they have hypotheses, test their hypotheses, right? Like, I'm going to listen to them. If they've built $1 million business in that field, yeah, I'm going to listen to them. At least hear what they have to say. I'm not going to just shut it out, because why would I? I'm open to information. That's what science is. So she's like, yeah, I don't believe you. And I was silent. I was just completely silent. I was in shock. And she thought everything was fine, and she thought we could still be friends. And I wrote her a letter because I couldn't say it to her because I just was in shock. And it didn't all come to my mind. You know how things don't come to your mind right away? So I waited, and then like a while later, I sent her a letter. And I said, no, we're not going to be friends. She was like, oh, yeah, it's cool that we're still going to be friends. I was like, we're not going to be friends. I was like, how could I be friends with someone who doesn't respect me enough after I spent almost 30 years, at that time, 25 years, 20 years, whatever it was, researching immunity, researching health, building my whole business, my whole career around it. And you don't even have the basic respect for me to even hear me out, to even ask me questions about it, to even wonder if I have a reason for why I've made the decisions that I've made? Really? How could I be friends with someone who respects me so little? I can't. Because why would I be? That is actually disrespectful to myself. To be friends with somebody who thinks so little of me. I don't have time for that. I go sell crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up here. You're the crazy one, not me. Because you won't even listen to the other side. And I was like that when I was a liberal. I was pro-choice. You can't talk to me about abortion. I'll just shut you down. Oh, no, I won't read a Breitbart link. No, get that off my Facebook page. I won't hear the other side. Because I'm brainwashed. I'm brainwashed. I was. I admit it now. Because if you can't even hear the other side, then you're not looking at the whole picture. So, was she a real friend? Nope. She's not. She's not a real friend. I do have real friends. I have a lot of real friends, and they're still by my side. And that is a great gift, to know who your real friends are. So I don't regret anything that's been lost, because it wasn't real. If you've lost things, don't look back. Sodom and Gomorrah, what was the mistake that Lot's wife made? She looked back. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Oh, that was the most delicate sneeze ever. Not a big, loud sneeze. Anyway, that's all for today. I just wanted to share about healing and just knowing that we need to recognize ourselves for the things, for the ways that we are healing. And I don't know who needs to hear this today, but somebody does. It's funny, a lot of times I'll make these videos and it's just one person that was like, oh my gosh, that was you, you were talking to me. So good. That's who I needed to reach today, whoever you are. Don't give up. God needs you. And don't let them chip away at your soul. Don't do it. It's not worth it. And I'll say this, Ed Dowd said, things are going to be much better in the future, but first there's going to be trouble. He said it very nicely. I'll say it much more succinctly. It's going to be a bloodbath for a lot of people. Call it the lake of fire. See, God warned us about it multiple times. All throughout the Bible, he warns us about it. What's coming at the end. In the book of Revelation. You think it's going to happen after you die? I don't think so. I think it happens right here on earth. You still have time to come to Jesus and admit your sins. Are you lying? Are you being dishonest? Are you aligned with the devil, or are you aligned with God? That's really what it's about. And if you're aligned with the devil, you're going to be rewarded right now. And if you're aligned with God, you're going to be punished. And the degree to which you are aligned with God, you will be punished. Look at Father Altman. Do you remember Father Altman? In 2020, he made that video, you can't be a Democrat and be a Catholic. They've all but canceled him. Look at Archbishop Vigano. He's in hiding. Because he's speaking the truth. How much truth are you speaking? Maybe God's calling you to speak more. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I hear. But I live every single day I'm happy. Do I get sad about what I've lost? Yeah. I get sad. I get frustrated at the state of things, and I am sad about the number of people who are dying, and I am sad about the people who are in jail right now. I'm sad. But mostly I'm happy because I can live with myself. And I don't care if they take this video down. It'll still be on Rumble. I'll still be on my blog. At the end of all of it, I'm still going to be standing. Because I know who wins this fight. And so I don't regret anything, like I said, that's been taken from me. I only wish I could have done more. Only wish I could do more. So if you see this, please read more about how to heal people, how to help heal people. That's really what I think we need to do next, is just try to heal as many people as possible. Unfortunately, most of them won't listen right now. And I don't think a lot of people will. The majority of people are not going to listen until the cuffs. Just like Enron. They're still going to believe the liars until the end. That's what Ed was saying. He said, all these people lost all their money because they kept investing in these liars, these psychopaths, until they were called off with handcuffs. That's what's about to happen. I don't know when, but it's coming. And when that happens, people are going to be like, what? Shocked. And then they're going to listen to what we've been saying all along. The pool water, the silica water, the patches, all the things that we're doing, the zeolite. It works. It works. You can get healthy and you can get your family healthy. The sad thing, too, about these deaths is that most of them have no side effects until it's too late. Or very few. Or they have side effects, but they're just like, I don't know. Like when I had H. pylori, I was like, oh, maybe I'm just getting old. I don't know why I'm so fatigued. If you're sick right now, there's a reason for it, and you can fix it, and you need to do something about it. Don't let it lie don't just go along with everything just to fit in. You might end up dead. So, you gotta take action. I don't know, I talk and I think my videos sound so dark, but I don't know how else to talk based on how things are right now. Hey, you want me to make dancing TikToks about how great everything? No, I can't do that. It's a lie. Anyway, if you're still watching this, which most people probably aren't, but if you are, there's something that God wants you to do. So listen to Him and do it.